Hello VC, Bungalow Craig here. Wanted to do a vinyl update and a Grail at the end, a big Grail at the end. And as you well saw the thumbnail for it, but I won't talk about that until the end and kind of go over the history of it. But as you see here, to start things off, I completed the Bruce Spizers books in my collection. So with the Beatles Swan Song and The Beatles Are Coming, The Birth of Beatlemania in America. So very cool additions to complete it. There is one more other book I'm debating on whether to get, but he put out with Sgt. Pepper's, like for the 50th year of Sgt. Pepper, like fans' reaction to it. So the Swan Song, the Beatles song goes over more of like the She Loves You, Hard Day's Night, kind of stuff like that aren't on Capitol Records or Vee-Jay. And then this one just kind of goes over the more of what happened when they came into America, which is kind of cool because he actually says that it's been heavily documented, which it has. So very cool books. They're very, very cheap too right now. So I think I picked up the pair for about $20 together. So very, very cool to have and complete those. So the next thing I want to show is I got another copy of I Want to Hold Your Hand. But what's different, I'll put my other original copy here. What's different is this is the East Coast version, this one right here. As you can see, that doesn't crop off George's head. This one does, so this is the West Coast version. Now, even though the West Coast version is rarer of the two, I wanted the East Coast version just to go with my Meet the Beatles, no credits, no publishing credits. So it's kind of cool to have the first pressing of this. And what's really interesting to see, if you notice, one's really like blurry, the West Coast version, and the East Coast version is very clear. I thought that was kind of interesting. So, and then the way you tell that these are the first pressings are by the I Saw Her Standing There on the back side. First pressings will have the Walter Hoffer publishing credit. So that's the East Coast version, and that is the West Coast version. So very, very cool to have those completed. So let me move on to the next one. Here is the next thing that I wanted to show. This is the Grail. So I got a promo from Me to You, the Beatles, on Vee-Jay 522. And it's a disc jockey advanced sample, so a promo on it, which is really cool. Unfortunately, I have it in a frame already, as you can see, but the reverse side is Thank You Girl. And it's exactly the same thing, except it says Thank You Girl on it. So, and it's kind of a little bit beat up on the back. So I'll just show this side. But this single came out May 6, 1963, about that time. And Vee-Jay, this was their second single to come out. So this came out a couple months after the Please Please Me one, which came out. Which this is the Please Please Me with the double, as you can see, the two T's on the Beatles, 498. So they definitely fixed that. So they were starting to pay more attention to the Beatles, of course. So what happened was this was coming out, and then right after this came out, Shannon, that was with, he came out with From Me to You, and this is his version right here, as you can see. And I'm going to link a description or a link in the bottom so you can actually see or hear his version of it. But he came out like the Vee-Jay one was released, and then shortly after Shannon released his, he asked John and Paul if he could borrow that, and which Bruce Spizers was saying that they were flattered, but it actually hurt them in the end. because they wanted to become bigger in the United States. So, and that was kind of hurting them a little bit because DJs would actually play the Del Shannon version and not the Beatles version. So what Vee-Jay did with this single is, well, this one came out in May 6th, 1963, and then the Del Shannon one came out. Then Vee-Jay said, well, let's put out more to radio stations because we want the radio stations to promote the Beatles version rather than the Del Shannon version. So they issued a little bit more of the promos, but with the original hit on it. As you can see, the original hit stamper on, or the stamp. So those came out a little bit later, just so that Vee-Jay could get the Beatles From Me to You played on the air rather than the Del Shannon one. So, and you can see how fast they were cranking them out, because on Thank You Girl, you can see so they basically stamped it and then stacked it, stamped it and then stacked it. So kind of cool there. So mine, it doesn't have the original hit on it, but as you can see, but it is very cool to have. I was actually speaking to Bruce Spizers about this, like the history of it, and we were kind of talking about this one came out in this promo along with the commercial copy in on May 6, 1963. And then after the Del Shannon, this one came out, they took and put this one and they started stamping them for the DJs. So very cool update. It goes very, very well. Just to show both of the singles here, the Please Please Me 498 and the From Me to You. These are the first two singles released in the United States. And the Please Please Me one didn't do very well. Same with From Me to You, but it did better than the Please Please Me one. So neither one of them cracked the 100 Billboard in 63, the top 100. The Del Shannon version did, but this one, this From Me to You did not, but it sold better than the Please Please Me one. So once the I Want to Hold Your Hand came out and started coming out, then they started re-releasing the songs, and as you can see, these came out. So Please Please Me, From Me to You, they re-released those, and then they decided to do You Want to Know Secret, and then Thank You Girl on the B side of From Me to You. So really cool to have those. Again, I definitely want to go over all my Vee-Jay with the albums, the singles, and the EPs. I definitely want to do that and see what because I don't think anybody has done anything like that again. So I do want to go through the history of them. So be on the lookout for that. But I appreciate you tuning in for this Grail. I'm really excited to have this alongside with the Please Please Me. So thanks for tuning in, and keep on the lookout for more videos from me in the future. Take care. Peace.